This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Anouska Taylor. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Oh, well, it's morning for me here, but it's a beautiful morning.
Well, that's great. Now, you sound British. How is it morning? Where are you in the world?
I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So it's very much the morning here.
Oh, that's great. It's also summer there as well, isn't it?
It is. It's been very warm the last few days.
Would you rather the UK temperatures now?
No, probably not. I think they've got snow over there at the moment.
That's fair. So please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
Oh, well, I'm a vocal instructor and I train singers, but I also train professionals to use their voice more effectively. And I work with people that run podcasts, and I basically work with anyone that sort of uses their voice in their work, but I have run sort of workshops for podcasters and executives, lawyers, and anyone that uses their voice. So I help people to basically find the full potential of their speaking voice.
Now that usually carries two value points, right? Like usually you hear people speak about, I can help you find your voice. But then there's the physical voice as well. Do they interconnect though when you're teaching, where it's helping them to actually find that voice, their one voice?
When you say physical voice, what do you mean by that?
Well, the physical voice for me represents like the sound you're hearing right now. The reason behind the voice definitely is I'm not sure what I'll call it, right? But that oomph, if you would. Is it something that interconnects when you're teaching?
Well, the voice is obviously a part of you. So whatever you're thinking and feeling will come through in your voice. I mean, literally, you are your instrument. So you can't separate the voice from the person. And so you have to work with it as a whole. Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So what does a session look like? Like, I'm excited now. Yeah.
Well, it really depends on the person in front of me. So I help people with all sorts of things. It could be to project more easily. It could be to have more expression in their voice. It could be that people find it hard to understand them because they have a quite a strong accent. So it really depends on the person in front of me. But I work with people very much on the sort of mechanical, functional side of speech, and then also on what we call the sort of paralinguistics. So that's really what makes the voice more interesting and engaging to listen to. So pauses, dynamics, intonation, that type of thing.
Lovely. So who did you learn that ability from, that ability to listen actively?
Oh, well, I mean, music's always been a huge part of my life, and I've always sung. So I think listening has always just been part of my training as a singer. And I also play the piano. So I think you have to be able to listen to be a really good musician. So it's just part of the training, I guess.
Now, where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you?
Well, I have a website, which is my name, anouskataylor.com. And then from there, you can then access my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, find me on LinkedIn, all the sort of usual social media channels. But yes, anouskataylor.com is probably the best way.
Is spelled Anouska.
SKA, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
that's right.
do tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Well, I'm a huge fan of visualization, and I use that consistently in every area of my life, in terms of running a business, in terms of helping my students and my clients, but also as a performer myself. I think it's such a great way of getting yourself into a situation without actually sort of physically being in the situation. And the mind doesn't know the difference between what we imagine and what is, in inverted commas, reality. So it's often used with sort of high performing athletes and musicians and things like that, so they can really hear and feel and sense themselves in a situation.
So you've been doing that for 3 years. How does it make you feel? Is it challenging now from the time you started? Is it challenging to switch between roles, like understanding which is reality and which is you visualizing?
No, I mean, because the idea really is that eventually you're visualizing something that you actually want to do for real. So when you actually come to do that thing, you already sort of feel like you've done it. So it's actually just an incredible way of getting yourself into the right zone. And I find, particularly with people with their voice, there's a lot of anxiety for people with public speaking and performing. So it's a really good way of people getting themselves into that mindset before they actually stand on a stage and present to an audience or sing to an audience. It's a really good almost rehearsal. It's a way of rehearsing before you actually do something.
Yeah, I definitely love it. I love the parallel of your voice and the power of your words, speaking things into being, and seeing the visualization aspect of it. It's like seeing things into being. I love how they both carry a parallel. That's pretty cool. Never realized that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water.
That sounds nice.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, goodness. Well, I've got lots, but probably the one that sort of relates to what we're talking about today is I just have been singing since I can remember. Since I could make noise, I think I've been singing. And I remember being, put to bed by my parents, and I'd just be lying in bed singing. And I'd be like 5, so they could never really shut me up from a very young age.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Well, I think I knew at a very young age this was what I was meant to be doing, because it's never been something that I've forced. It's just something that I've never known anything different than to use my voice and to sing. So, and obviously now working with speakers, but it's just been, I don't really remember ever thinking I'm going to start singing. I just started singing and I haven't stopped.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Well, I didn't really have a favorite song. I was slightly obsessed with Michael Jackson at the time. Yeah, and people like Madonna and even Kylie Minogue. I don't know if you've heard of Kylie Minogue. She used to be a big... You know, okay. Yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that, but anyway.
But tell me a song by her that you like.
Oh, I mean, there was things like, there was one called Especially for You, which she did as a duet with Jason Donovan. It's really embarrassing for anyone that knows this song. I'd be like, I've lost any sense of credibility now.
I'll definitely check it out. And
it's terrible. It's a terrible song.
Let's get you back up to par then. What song from Michael Jackson was in there as well?
Oh goodness. There were so many great songs. I mean, I was a huge fan of his, all his music, to be honest. I guess the Bad album I loved. I used to love songs like Dirty Diana. I don't know if you know that one.
I do, yes.
Yeah, I just loved his voice, and I mean, he was just the quintessential performer. Just could use his voice and move, I was always mesmerized by that.
Wonderful. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Anouska?
Okay, go on.
Anouska, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
It's a process, so not exactly yet, no.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Do you have
No, I believe in something bigger than myself, but not God specifically. So,
do you have an inner circle of friends?
yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I don't own a TV.
Wow. Is it something in Australia? Many people I've spoken to in Australia say that. Like some people say, no, I don't. But no, like everyone's saying, most people are saying, no, I don't own a TV.
No, I'll just clarify that and say I watch Netflix on my laptop, but I don't actually own a TV.
Yeah,
so
let's do screen time. How much time do you think you spend? Is it like 8 hours or less than 8 hours a day?
It would be no more than 2 hours.
All right. And this is Netflix only, or are you speaking about general screen time, like the phone and or the computer?
Well, no, I'm talking about TV type.
Okay. Well,
viewing.
yeah, let's do screen time. Let's put them all together. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, it would probably, because I run a business and I'm in front of a computer all day, it would probably be more than 8 hours in that case.
All right. Anouska, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Well, I'm going to steal this quote from someone else, but I really live by this: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, which was Henry Ford said that. And I see this all the time with people that I work with. If you come into a situation and you think you can't do something, you won't be able to do it. So it's really opening your mind to, even if you don't fully believe it, just opening your mind to the possibility that you might be able to do it rather than I can't do it.
Love it. Anouska, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, the only thing I would say is if you are someone that has been told or believe that you can't sing, then I really challenge you to start singing, because I really believe everyone can sing. And it really upsets me when people don't utilize this incredible instrument that we all have.
Anouska Taylor, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazon Enterprise.